Welcome to Optimal Frequency. I'm Grant. You know what I do here. I talk to spirits at my house using sources of white noise. We then get rid of that white noise, and that leaves behind the spirit responses to the questions that I ask. I wasn't sure what session I wanted to conduct this morning, so I consulted my book of mysteries that you guys send me. I keep it all in a booklet, and I rolled up a random mystery for us to look into, and I've come up with Easter Island. So we're going to talk about those great big Moai statues, the ones with the faces. You know, Easter Island. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, I had to stop. I'm in the process here of getting everything set up. I've done the session at the sink. I've recorded it on the 3 devices. I am now converting them to audio files, putting them in Audacity, as you can see on the screen here. I had to stop because I've never seen this, okay? What it is I'm at the point where I'm ready to line up my 3 audio files, what was recorded on the phone, the Yeti microphone, and the Sony camera. Okay, so I put the 2 on the screen. So this one here, okay, is the Yeti filter. So that was the microphone that ran back to the computer. So you can see where I'm talking is the really tall lines right here. And in between the little bits, that's the spirit's voices. Okay, this here might be spirit voices. This here, that kind of looks normal, but it looks really good. So I'm definitely on the right track with this research. Pounding this out using the double feature at the sink of the sugar bowl and the kettle fountain, run back, making it echo in this room. This is the best I can do, the clearest I can get. But when I got to the Sony, look at this. I don't know if you guys can appreciate what I'm looking at. You can't even tell in there where I'm talking and where the spirits are talking. That's how loud the spirit voices are. I mean, if you go back, which I just did, and I recently put together the video where I did all the steps that I've uncovered in the last 2 years, you look at the first videos I made in the beginning, you can hardly see a little tick in there where the spirit voices are because I didn't have it dialed in properly. I look at this as there's so much data here, and this might be, I haven't listened to it, might be the clearest I've ever uncovered yet. Kidoki, 2 out of 3 devices going here. Now I'm at the webcam. Okay, it's recording. So this is day 2. Fresh faced out of bed. Put some water onto my bed head. 2 pages of questions about Easter Island. Haven't even had a coffee yet. Let's get to the sink and do this. Oh, I forgot to even set up the kettle fountain. We'll have to do that too. Okay. I'm going to turn this sink on and clean it out a little bit. I probably should have done this first.
Here. She on the street. Here. She on the street. Here. She on the street. Here.
Okay, let's put this in here. Get this fountain filling up. Sugar bowl. You know what I realized just now? So the Tibetan bowl is sitting over to the side. And of course, I took the sugar bowl top off, and it actually fits perfectly on there. Not that that means anything, it's just an observation. Good morning, spirits. How are you doing today? So I just had my chat with you through my opening prayer a couple minutes ago. Do you know which topic we want to research today? Hopefully you got some experts on Easter Island and we can get into these questions. Easter Island is an island in special territory of Chile in the southeastern Pacific Ocean. The island is most famous for its nearly 1,000 monumental statues called moai, which were created by the early Rapa Nui people. In 1995, UNESCO named Easter Island a World Heritage Site with much of the island protected within Rapa Nui National Park. Experts disagree on when the island's Polynesian inhabitants first reached the island. While many in the research community cited evidence that they arrived around the year 800, convincing data presented in a 2007 study suggests their arrival to have been closer to 1200 AD. Talking centuries ago now, before the island was settled, was it covered in trees and brushy vegetation and all kinds of animals? So that was kind of a weird answer about sheep because it was something I wasn't expecting, and whether or not they're talking about what I was thinking about before the tribesmen actually got there, right? So I Googled it anyway, so I typed in sheep on Easter Island, and apparently it was a big thing actually back in 1870. Settlers from Tahiti began to raise sheep in 1870. In 1888, the island was annexed by Chile, which leased nearly all its territory for sheep raising. In 1954, the Chilean Navy administration took over the sheep range. So, kind of makes sense. Did the spirits lead people to inhabit that island? Or I'm thinking as I'm asking the questions here, maybe it was just a nice peaceful island with all the animals and everything. Maybe it would have been better off if the people had never found the island. So some of these messages we get and the actual words I hear are pretty complex, but it kind of makes sense if you think about it. We don't know. Maybe the first settlers, the guys that came across in their catamarans, maybe they were chased out of somewhere. Maybe they were being taken over by another tribe. You never know, right? So they fled, founded a whole new island on Easter Island. We'll never know, but the messages kind of make sense. What size of group or how many people first came to that island? Did they show up in little catamarans? And did those people travel back and forth between their original homeland and the island that they discovered in an effort to build up the population? Like, did they go back and bring more people with them and go, hey, we found this cool new place to live? So what was the original purpose of the statues? Were the statues guardians of the tribal people? Were the statues meant to be a link between the living and the dead? The island was populated by Polynesians who most likely navigated in canoes or catamarans from the Gambier Islands 1,600 miles away or the Marquesas Islands 2,000 miles away. According to some theories, there is a possibility that early Polynesian settlers arrived from South America due to their remarkable sea navigation abilities. Theorists have supported this through the agricultural evidence of the sweet potato. The sweet potato was a favored crop in Polynesian society for generations, but it originated in South America, suggesting interaction between these two geographic areas. Where did the people come from that settled on the island? So there seems to be some debate as to whether the people possibly came from South America or maybe islands that were like the Cook Islands or other islands that were, within a couple thousand miles of Easter Island. How did the people on Easter Island come to harvest the sweet potato? Did they get that somehow from the South Americans? Did they have travel between where they were and South America? So for the most part, did the island people live in peace? Was it what I would consider to be a tropical paradise? Alright folks, thanks for watching that. That's the first part of our Easter Island session. I found it super interesting. A couple things. One, right away, they start talking about, my island. Was it my tribal or my tribe or village or whatever they said? The key words that we're picking up on that were pretty easy to hear were very specific to the topic of the day, as usual, right? They're always like that. I did find it interesting about the sweet potato because I wondered how they were going to answer that, and I guess maybe it was native to that island. I really don't know. I mean, they're saying it was already there. It was on the ground, so of course these people would take advantage of that. Anyways, join us for part 2 coming up very soon. Thanks for watching.